Bedford games. Yup. Bedford games, let's fucking go. Bedford games, let's put on a show. Bedford games, you already know. Bedford games, we're going 6-0.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new King of the Mountain on Wednesdays. I'm going to dive right into that. I got Derek, Tyler, and Ben with me. Sorry we're a little late. Ben actually was on time today.
We didn't know how to react, so we waited anyway.
We weren't ready for Ben to be on time. So, all right, you got the Ben's going to load up the score. We're going to continue our picks and finalize it up and see who won. And we're going to dive right into Wednesday playoffs and finals. Get the scores up there, Ben.
Yep.
Why don't you give a little? Why don't you read them off for the people that aren't looking?
Derek and Connor get 17. Steve is 15. Mike far behind at 14.
All right. First game of the docket was 7 o'clock. Whack Pack and Spartans. B1 finals here. I took Whack Pack.
I took the Spartans.
I took Whack Pack.
Whack Pack came out on top. Unfortunately, we all were playing. Ben wasn't there, so we don't really have any recap. I think
the Spartans, man. Every time I pick against them, they win. Every time I pick them, they fucking lose.
It's like trying to bet the Pats. You know
I'm out. I'm gonna not bet. I'm not gonna pick their games anymore. I'm just gonna take the L.
Yeah, I thought this was a classic stylistic matchup here. You had speed and then just brute strength.
I think it was a good game from what I heard because I know my brother played and I was trying to watch at the same time because I was on that sideline and it looked like a close game for a majority of it.
But it did look high scoring too, right?
It did. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be Whack Pack's MO right now is to win high scoring. We know Spartans can score.
Yeah.
We have seen them give up a lot of points at times. But Spartans can stifle some teams. Unfortunately, they could not stifle Whack Pack. Whack Pack pull it out, getting a B1. Arguably, maybe should have been an A team, but I just added the top 8. I still wouldn't have bumped any of those guys out for Whack Pack. Not quite yet. How'd you guys like the 8-team format?
It was fine. I viewed it as a little bit irrelevant. I think you kind of know who the top teams are, regardless of who gets in A's. I think it's just practice.
Yep. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. At least there's more games to the playoffs, but it just wasn't. I don't think anybody was surprised by which teams were at the end.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Do you think Jimmy should keep doing 8 if he can?
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's a. I don't know. As long as there's competitive games, I just get bored when we win by 50.
Well, we didn't beat anybody by 50.
It felt like we get plucked by 50.
Right. Yeah, that's a little one-off game. I don't think that happens again, but...
Well, that's the issue with the 8 teams right there is the one-year game is going to be, especially when you're one of the top 3-4 teams, that first game you get... There's
a big gap between the top 3 teams and the rest.
Making it not 8, you probably eliminate that one game that's just almost... You don't need to play it. But it's like, I don't know. Do you think, some of these guys that, like, the North, like, I don't know, putting them in the Bs sounds wrong, seems wrong. They're too good for I think, to be in the Bs. They gave Leapers a good run, so it's like, it's tough to say.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of problems with however you look at...
Right, if you do the same 4 teams, it's the same 4 teams every time. If you do 8, then there's always going to be a mismatch.
Right.
You can't win.
Yeah.
And if I put my shoes in, let's say I'm a B1 team that's won a couple in a row... Now
I kind of want to try my hat in the ring.
Right. I can't get in because, Gumbies and Leapers are almost the same team, but they're always going to be in A's. The North requested to always be in A's, and thus they should.
Sure.
And Nasty Boys are always in A's. So it's I would be pissed, like, looking outside in, like, when am I going to get my shot? But we know pulling any of those teams out is just not fair for everybody else.
Yep.
So it's a what do they call it, a catch-22? No matter what you do, or
yeah, you lose or you lose.
Right. So I liked it. I always want competitive growth in this league. What's that? Sorry, guys, just in case you forgot, Ben's here. He's you gonna be able to bring the shows together?
Ben's got the Gateway 98.
We're gonna have to what?
Well, we might be back.
Where's Connor when you need him?
He would be flipping out right now, panicking.
Oh yeah, he would.
He may actually be back online.
Tara, can you go on Facebook or somebody look and see if we're back?
It came back alive somehow, let's see.
We hit the defibrillator on it and fucking boost us back
I mean,
in.
it shows live, but it's still like frozen. Yeah, we're definitely not there. Yeah, we're just frozen.
Huh? How did you get that on without it being plugged in?
It runs off of this, so this was draining that.
Oh,
That's probably why it died so fast.
right.
You have a couple hundred
All right,
tabs
so now
open
we're
too.
back. So
Might
now
not
we're
help.
back with no visual here,
We are back with no visual.
apparently.
Can someone comment? Let us know if you can hear us.
That's what Danny says. He says, now back, y'all, no visual. Camera moved, so now it's frozen in different positions.
Why does yours show us there? Or is that just frozen? All right, we're figuring it out.
We're in a weird freeze.
You want to just... So they can hear us?
Yeah, we're having some
Alright.
technical difficulties.
Let me see if I can get the video back.
Ben rocking the Gateway 98.
We're good. We're going to probably dabble in this game a little bit for a little bit. So we got next up for the playoff, we got Nasty Boys and Gumbies. Big championship rematch in Tyler Pike's mind and quoted, in my mind, this is the championship game.
True.
So Pike.
So the game went. I know I picked Gummies, but you can, all three of you, I don't care if you want to admit it on the air, you seen the change of the pick before the game. Everything, we knew everything. I even reached out to Ben. He probably didn't change it, but I said, lock it in. I'm taking. Well, dude, so, right?
Is that why you came out and threw 4 picks?
Just
to make sure you got it right.
Let him talk. Let him talk.
Four, okay. So anyway, I was like, Ben, lock it in. So I don't like picking against my own team, regardless of whether I think we're going to win
Danny
or lose.
says we're back up.
All right, cool. Thanks, Danny.
But then I saw David comment. He's like, is anyone going to take Nasty Boy? I'm taking Nasty Boy. So I'm like, oh, okay. If our own teammates are saying the same thing. But that's how I kind of thought that game was going to go. I thought that game was going to play out in a similar way. I didn't think it was going to be as I didn't think we were going to come out as flat as we did. I figured it was a possibility, but
Well,
I'm not,
we can all credit Mudball, and I
Little bit.
Sure. I think a lot of it. Mechanics are out the window. I do listen. I'll knock on you for needing tall receivers.
there was throws that in that game.
You have no idea how to use Cutler.
Sure, but there were throws in that game that were like I don't miss these throws. I mean, I'm talking 10-yard hitch.
You were very inaccurate
in the dirt. Yeah, no, I like Nick too. He's probably my number 2 on that squad for sure. But I use him the way, I'm used to using, my guys. So it's tough. He's got to make a little bit of an adjustment. I mean, I always try to, try to work to these guys' strengths, but sometimes it just, especially in a playoff game, it can get tough.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, I've played Gummies 100 times.
Yeah.
Okay, I played these guys even more because they're on 2 different teams that I played twice at least every season. They looked tired, and first game of the night. It wasn't to this. It was all to Mud Bowl. Mechanics out the window. A lot of drops. A lot of inaccurate passes.
Yep.
So not making excuses, but that is an explanation for the team.
Sure.
It started out very interesting.
It started out the way I figured we might come out and be flat, but you guys also came out for the first couple drives a little flat as well. You gave us a chance to jump on you guys early and really hang around in that game, but I've been around long enough to know you can't go 3 drives in the opening and not score against you guys. It's just that it's never gonna end well.
No,
unless you have a defense like yours or Leapers or one that's of that really top 1 or 2. But I knew it. I mean, it's 0-0 with 15 minutes to go in the first half, maybe even less. It's like
what did we finally score on a 3rd drive?
I think so.
Because you guys
drive?
opened up. I think so. I almost thought it was.
I think it was each team had 2 or 3 drives where nothing happened.
Yeah.
Right. So it was 0-0 for a little bit, which is obviously uncharacteristic of both our teams.
And I thought, too, on the
Bud
first,
and Jeff might have had 6 drops combined in the first 2 drives.
a lot of drop passes that game.
I was a little accurate to begin with, for sure. I almost thought about switching the ball.
No, yeah. So Cutler took the ball at halftime and pumped it up. Thing was a fucking rock. He didn't tell me.
They
Grabbed
were
it,
they were a little
ran into
mad.
half, and I'm grabbing the same. Phew, okay, now I have an excuse if I suck. I ended up doing better in the second half. Nothing to do with the ball being pumped up. I just had to adjust on the fly. Shit was hard. It was impossible. I'm holding this thing I'm trying to break down the defense you guys are running in my head during the play, while also trying to get a grip on the ball and going through reads. It was
They've got a new cutting edge product out there that probably could have helped.
Maybe it might have.
I don't know if you've heard of it. It is Tacky Bar.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Put it on the ball. You won't have that problem anymore.
Yeah, all right.
No, I don't care. I don't care how much tacky bars on the ball. If it's uncomfortable for me, it's uncomfortable. I would freak the fuck out.
I was talking about him.
I don't give a fuck. I'd freak the fuck out if one of my teammates pumped air in my ball and didn't
Nick
tell
was
me.
pissed.
He
was pissed.
They blame.
So
what?
he was.
Who's the one who put air in it?
So Max put a little air in it, and it was a little deflated. The thing hadn't been used in a week, and it was just sitting in my truck all week, so it was a little deflated. Max put a little bit in it.
Did you not
was
warm
happy.
up with it?
No, I did.
Okay.
I did, and I don't mind it.
But it didn't stand out to you?
It wasn't an issue to me personally. Max asked for it, so he put a little air in it. I was fine. Nick's like, "Where's the ball?" I'm like, "It's right here." I throw it to him. I didn't know what he was doing. I figured he was just feeling it out, trying to for the second half, and we're starting, and we don't know where Nick or the ball is, and he comes back. He's like, "Oh, I got it," and the thing is just
rock hard.
Rock. I mean, I never held a ball this fucking hard. It was fucking wild. This thing was a rock. But anyway, it was a good game. I thought I didn't know how. I predicted that we would come out a little flat. But then I figured after the first throw, I spiked the first throw. It was just a simple. It was either a slant or a curl. But I had 2 good throws that game that I look back on and be like, at least I had these 2 throws. And say one of them was the second play of the game. It was a seam up the middle of the cam. That was probably my best throw of the day, or the one to Cutler that he ended up dropping it. Cutler ran a corner behind Jeff in front of Jay, and he looked like he tried to go up with his body and grab it, and it just bounced off his chest. Sure enough, Jay got it, and there was a pick. So a lot of things didn't go our way that game, and like I said, I think I said in the last pod, I said everything lines up for you guys to win this game, and I really don't know why I chose Gummies to win, despite saying all that.
Probably because it's your team.
True, but
They're the team you play on.
yeah.
You think Dave's eating his words now? After running his mouth, how lopsided the score was last championship game, how the tides have turned, Dave, how anything could happen. I think it's a little poetic.
You talking about Cap?
Yeah.
He said I said Nasty Boys would win, and wide receivers sucked in the semis. We had 6 drops versus Nasty Boys.
I mean, we had a lot of drops, too. It was, theirs might have been spread out, where ours was just on the first 2 drives. But we had a lot of drops, too. He's not wrong. Yeah, like I said, it was a very uncharacteristic game on both teams' parts. I can credit for a lot of explanations on why, but it was an intriguing game at first. And it was almost a little like the championship game last session, where it was close, almost half. It's pretty, and then just one team just blew away with it.
Well, there was a point in the game where I'm like, all right, we have to push the ball down the field and score quickly, because it was it might have been 24-0 at one point. Because I remember it.
Really?
Feels right, yeah.
Because it ended up.
Once we got rolling, we got rolling.
I know. Our first 3 out of 4 extra points, Bud fucked up.
Yeah.
I remember not getting 1. I was pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys scored and you went for 2. Yeah. Okay. I remember that.
Yeah, and then we had a chance there at the end, but like I said, you can't hold down a good team for that long. 31 points. Is that what you guys scored? 31.
I think it was more.
I thought it was 38, maybe.
38.
38, 39.
I thought it was 38.
I thought
38.
it was 31-19. Our last touchdown was the garbage time one that doesn't actually count. You know what I mean? That's what I thought.
I almost thought it was almost exactly like how our game went against them. It was like 38-12. We got a garbage touchdown in the championship, and vice versa.
Pretty much.
Pretty close. I mean, either way. The touchdown I told the team, let you guys score. I could just picture somebody rolling an ankle there and not, what's the point?
Yeah.
So, all right, well, Nasty Boys beat them. Gumbies move on. Gumbies go home. Nasty Boys move on. I did take Gumbies.
I took the Nasty Boys.
Ben, you going to update the score? Or you boo loving over here?
Just catching up on the chat.
Thought Derek's supposed to be watching the chat.
No, he's watching the chat, not the comments. He's in the messenger chat.
Why?
Because people were asking stuff there.
I don't know. Who?
Everybody. Go look at it.
I'm not looking at that. You guys can comment on the show. You want to,
It's because I made fun of his computer.
So who got that one?
Derek got it.
All right. Derek pulls ahead by a point.
Yeah. All right, we got Force and Nasty Girls.
I should be up by 2 points.
Did you get the last one too?
No, I missed one. I was up 2. They got one. I missed it. They got that one wrong. I should be back up 2.
You're up by 2.
You are up by 2.
Well,
Right.
the score shows 17 to 16 to 15.
No, it's 18. At the third.
I'm looking at the screen.
It's here behind.
How much of a delay is it?
Apparently quite long.
Depends on the device. He's
About
probably-
5 to 10 minutes.
He's probably extra.
Is it really?
No, I'm just
That's a huge delay. Why do we even keep score?
So why are we even reading comments then if it's that long?
All right, 8 o'clock. The Force and Nasty Girls.
I took Nasty Girls, I believe.
You did. I took the Force.
I took the Force.
The Force does pull it out. We got a nice photo up for the Force. Ben, you want to pull that photo up?
Yeah.
Ben, you want to tell everybody why you weren't there?
I was working.
All right, you have a mic, Ben.
I was working.
You traveled for work, is that correct?
I did. Yeah,
Where'd you go?
Pittsburgh,
Yeah, how'd you like it?
Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool city. A lot of character.
Do you think you would have changed this game in any which direction?
Yeah, it probably would have been, 60 to 19 instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it.
Should have sent in my batted ball. First one of my career.
Yo, don't worry. I had another video to counter that if you did.
I just wanted to sack you against Steve. That's the only reason why I'm sad.
That's all right. Yeah, Nasty Girls kind of came out flat-footed. Force being extra hard, I was trying to win this game. They did not want to lose. Derek being one of them.
I
I'm
don't.
pretty sure he was flexing in one of the girls' faces.
The only person I flexed on was you.
I don't know. It was a fun game. I don't know what's worse for us. So this, they had the Gumbies semis, and then they had a game off so the Gumbies could split up into 2 and, go play another game. So I don't know if playing a game hurt us. I don't know if sitting would have hurt us. But we decided to play, have a little fun. Force comes out on top, wins the B2 finals under QB Kev. Get that photo up there.
It sucks. You can't tell, but Jay and I are trying to show B2 with our hands, but you can't really tell that that's a B.
Phew. A lot of people commenting, wondering what you guys are doing.
Well,
thanks
we don't.
for,
I don't like people. When people post up the everything and just don't say what division they're in. So we're trying to do it in the photo.
But you didn't, and everybody who shared the photo didn't put B2.
I didn't post it.
Bunch of squids.
I didn't post it or share it.
Speaking of squid, shout out to Chad, my buddy. He listens to the show. He says. All right, so the Force wins.
All right.
Well, I can't shout out to his nickname's Squid. So I can't shout him out. Hey, let's just everybody know this is Derek's last day on the show. I couldn't be any happier. Him and Isaac are going to start their own podcast somewhere.
I'm not starting a show anywhere. I'm semi-retiring.
Semi. All right, what do we have next? Leapers and Slipstream.
Who got that one, everybody?
No, Pike picked Nasty Girls.
Oh, okay.
So
I had to try to make up some ground. It wasn't the pick that I wanted, but it was the pick that I chose. I figured if I'm going to make up ground, it's got to be somewhere.
Right. All right, next game. Leapers Slipstream. Pikey, I assume you watched this, or did you leave out of a fit of rage?
I left.
Okay.
Well, Derek wished a safe ride home before the end of that game.
Well,
so I had
that
to
was
make
nice
sure I
of
left.
him. That was
Sure. I heard everything about this one, though.
Okay, you want to comment on it? Unfortunately, we were playing at the same time.
I heard it was
very lopsided.
Beat down from the start. I heard that Garrett had 2 picks from blitzing.
Yikes.
One of them being a pick 6. And I think the final score was 39-0. So, and that's the other thing, like, not to backtrack or anything, but with the A teams is like, would you rather have a team like Slipstream in there, like, losing to one of the top 3 teams 39-0, or would you rather have them winning the Bs? It's tough to say, you know what I mean? Because they just won the Bs, so you move them up.
You can't win the Bs every time.
No doubt.
You know, how's that fair for the rest of the league?
Sure. But and this team's good, too. Slipstream, they're better than what they played. I didn't watch the game, but I heard. So, obviously, they're better than losing 39-0 to this team.
I'm sure everybody would probably agree with that.
Yeah. But this is that ceiling that I'm talking about is when you play them, if you don't turn the ball over, you don't make mistakes, you make them beat you. Make them go down 6 plays and score. When you can't just throw it, a 5-yard hit or a quick slant and score off one play, which that tends to not happen as much against the top teams, they hit that little bit of a ceiling.
Sure, and they're going to have to figure out how to break through that,
yeah.
And that's why they play, at the top level, or try to. I mean, if you're a team in this league and your end game is to not try to just move up as much as possible, you're kind of a dink.
Yeah.
If you settled in the C's and that's all you want to do,
And there are teams like that, too, that there have been, since I've started playing, I've seen some teams in the Bs that, are still in the Bs, you know what I mean, with no... maybe that may not be due to the fact that they don't want to move up, but
there's
maybe...
two sides, sometimes people are just playing with their friends and they're not very good, but they play with their friends.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Some people are never going to be A players.
But you play to win.
Yeah.
I mean, can we name a team that doesn't play to win?
Kenny Richards says, Steve, get off Marvel.
There's an event going on. Hey, listen, I'm not taking away from the show, okay? All these guys can do stuff on the phones, but I get yelled at?
I'm watching comments.
Yeah, okay. You're going to watch them on your way home.
I'll leave.
Can you safely say that anybody in this league goes there not trying to win the game they're playing?
No. But
Okay,
what I'm saying is you don't.
No, I get it. But if you constantly win B2, if you're like, nah, I don't want to move up, no, you're
okay.
kind of
I guess I didn't. I guess I didn't. I thought you were just saying like every team should want to become an A team.
No, I think some teams probably have more goals than other teams. Some teams are like, all right, we're a C team, let's win C's,
right,
and then move up to B2s. Okay, there's a lot of goals where a B1 team maybe only has 1 goal. Now, Slipstream's already won 2 B1s in a row. Where are they supposed to go?
They won 2. Okay, I thought I had been under the impression they only won 1.
Where are they supposed to go from there?
No, sure, you got to move them up.
Monday.
But there is a point to, like, when we first started playing, and, like, we're like, oh, dude, we really want to play Natty D's because we always played these guys in the youth league, and they were always a little bit older than us, and we lose 70-6. You learn nothing from that. You get beat so bad.
That is not true.
No, it is. I'm telling you.
That is not true. You do not learn nothing.
When you get beat down, there comes a point when, I'm not saying this happened to them, But there comes a point when you play a team so much better than you, and they beat you down so bad, to where like you're not learning anything because you can't even do what you're used to. Like 70-6, and I'm not speaking to them. I'm speaking to us. When you lose 70-6, it's like at a point where it's 30-0. It's like, all right, I mean, what are we really doing here at this point? You know what I mean?
You're learning what you do is not working against good teams.
Sure,
and you figure it
but
the fuck out.
I think losing a game.
Is it fun? No, it's not fun. Okay, the first DirecTV's game ever, Jimmy put us up against Metro, and we got waxed.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not trying to, okay, we want to be better and eventually be able to play that team, I mean, then you're kind of a fucking schlub, I guess. You know, in my opinion. You learn in losses for sure. But yes, I mean, learning in losses, no doubt. But I'm just saying there comes a point where now when you do score, when it's 40-0, you're like, are these guys even really trying? Like, what's really going on here? Like, so there comes a point where you can just get beat so bad to the point where like you're like, just forget it. Yeah, I mean, if a team was getting beat 60-0 every game, that would not be fun, and that's nowhere to. It'd be very hard to grow. Now, that's why we have the multiple division system, so you can play competitive games.
Yeah.
And most games, typically in playoffs, are competitive.
Yep.
Lately, they have been. But again, is it fair for the guys that just can't beat Slipstream in the B division when Slipstream should at least be an ace?
I'm not saying that they're the example of they didn't learn nothing from losing 39-0. I know they're better than that. Everyone knows they're better than that. I mean, they beat you guys. They beat us this session, so they're, we know they can do it. Can they do it consistently? We don't know up to this point. This is their first time in the A's, and I would say it's successful. I don't really care what anybody else says. This is their first time in the A's. They go 1-0, 2-0, and now they lose to Leapers. You're not going to complain about that. Sure, losing 39-0 is brutal.
So Dave played great. No, I'm just kidding. Dave just put in talk about him already, so I couldn't handle any more Tyler ranting on about how the Slipstreams played great but got blown out.
Well, no. What I'm saying is I would say they had a successful session overall. I think you can get a lot of good from the session. Nobody wants to lose 39-0, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
But
for sure. So, all right, we're gonna move on from that game. But congrats to Slipstream to getting as far as they did. Now we had 9 o'clock Zoom and FF1 C Division Finals. Zoom pulled out the win. I'm not sure. Again, we had to play it this time, so I'm not sure how this game went down.
That feels like two teams that really shouldn't be in the C's.
I think that attests to you. I mean, yes, I'm not a fan of how Jimmy did the C's and B2. I don't think he did a great job doing it.
Did he just go solely off record or something, or what?
No,
he's not normally off by that.
That's the thing. He tried to get too cute and do his own, which is fine. You can't knock him because he was semi-right. Zoom.
Not that I think they're far off. Like, they're probably B2 teams, but I just C doesn't feel right for that to be the C championship. I mean, those teams being in C's, they should be the two teams there.
I agree. Zoom was not happy about being in C division. I at least know Dougie wasn't happy. So not happy they didn't even take a picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I get it.
Mason loved it. Mason would have been bunch of pictures, bunch of filters. He would have been all over social media with the C division win. So he's all about it. But I'm not even sure if this game was close, unfortunately.
Yeah, I picked Zoom in this one.
I did pick Zoom too.
As well.
Jesus Christ. What?
Who got the last one?
Leapers and Slipstream?
Yeah.
I did take Slipstream.
I took Leapers.
I need
Leapers
some
as
ground.
well.
So you get a point.
Yep. No, I lost. They got a point. So
Well, I think me and Derek would each get 2 because we guessed both games correct. So we've done 2, Ben, since you have been looking.
No, we all did the 4. He put down the 4.
Oh no, he already did. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking about the Zoom game. Did he put the Zoom one in already?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we all picked Zoom. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody gets a point.
Yeah. So congrats to Zoom, C Division, and that is one of those teams that probably does have a ceiling. But if Zoom was consistently winning B2, they should be in B1.
They should play B1.
And vice versa.
Sure.
I think that'd be competitive. I think they'd have the capabilities of winning B1. I just don't need. I don't think they'd It wouldn't be easy, but I think they'd have the ability to do so.
And that's an example. Let's say they did work to get to B1, and now all of a sudden you got Slipstream down there, who is muscled out of the A division, and you know, no offense, but Zoom's never going to beat Slipstream. I mean, it would take a lot, in my opinion. Allegedly. At this point in time, I don't know if they've played before. I know Zoom has had stars come in and play with them. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to it. I think Jimmy just does the best with what he has. All right, on to the A Division Finals. First and foremost, I think you owe Leapers an apology.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. Why now?
Because
I also don't think the better team
Did you just ask a question
wins.
and start answering?
Well, because I can see this coming already. I knew this was going to happen, man.
So you can say...
I don't think the better team always wins.
No, that's fair.
Now, I don't think the better team always makes the championship as well. I still do believe what I said compared us and them.
All right, let me tell you why you owe them an apology.
Okay.
You on this show.
Hold on, wait. The only thing I'm going to apologize for is their offense scoring, because I said I didn't think they could do it. I apologize for.
That is correct.
I don't know when they could drop 39 points. Every time Milkman Black played them with that defense that we all know is not that good. We have one good player over there. They would score 24 points every time we played them or less. So that's where I get my knowledge.
Did you ever think that knowing that they could score on you anytime they wanted, they didn't try to score as many explosive plays on offense, just keep the ball out of your hands?
No, I don't think he's wrong by saying they've been having offensive woes the past few seasons. I think he's fair. Not to say they're not capable. That's an argument we've had. And you went on the show and said they just can't score. Well, in 3 games, they almost put up...
So you got
I'm almost
120 points.
You got 2 guys in Cutler and Colin who can score anytime they touch the ball.
No doubt.
Dave can...
You still have to credit them against the North. The North's got a good defense, too, and they put up a ton of points against them.
I'm giving them credit for the North in your game. In your game especially, because it mattered the most. And yes, you guys didn't have Adam, but there's still good players on the defense. Kevin's out there. Jay's out there. Louis out there.
Kevin's
who I
out of
believe is
position.
very underrated. Yeah, he's out of position, but he still can play. I mean, he might be the second best linebacker behind friggin' Kenny. I don't know. I mean, linebacker doesn't run deep. We all know Kenny is as good.
Our defense...
That defense is very, very scary when it is fully healthy, and it is loaded. And credit to Connor, though. He played very well against Gummies, at least. I want to give him credit, too. I don't want it to seem like I'm, not giving him credit. He played well, too. But when you have, Kevin and Kenny, like the best front 2 in the league, with the best quarterback in the league, and an elite secondary, you guys are going to win a lot. And I like
we did.
That. No doubt.
So, I mean, our defense was still formidable. Regardless of who we put on the field, it's still a top 3, top 4 defense in that league.
No doubt.
For them to still put 39.
I said we didn't play like it, but yeah.
Okay, but and maybe they might differ, but I credit their offense more than I discredit our defense.
Cutler had a game.
Maybe the narrative on them is changing a little bit, because I used to watch them play you guys in Natty D's, and they used to lose or win 14-12. So, like 12 points in an A division game, you're not going to win a whole lot. You know what I mean? So that's really where I get my. And I'm talking when I say Gummies versus Leapers, I'm just. We share a lot of the same players. The only difference is Garrett, Colin, me, and Cam. Those are really the only difference. And Dan and Max.
It's a different connection.
It is, for sure. But yeah, no. Credit to those guys. They won. I mean, no one's gonna take it away from them. They scored a hell of a lot of points, more than I thought they would.
That's, not the outcome I wanted, but that's exactly what you want out of your A championship game. I mean, it's down to the game of the year.
You guys score 33 points. You guys shouldn't be losing. Obviously, you might want to look at the tape and be like, all right, well, we could have scored on this drive. We had a drop or we had a bad misthrow. But 33 points in an A division championship you should win. You shouldn't have to score more than 33.
I don't.
And when you guys are fully healthy,
disagree.
That issue, I don't believe will exist anymore.
Fully healthy? No, you can't say that having Kenny, Adam, and Kevin actually rushing is not a 6-point swing.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm not trying to take anything away from them. Regardless,
So who is the other corner? I got the 4.
Louis?
No. But for
Jeff.
your legit,
Jeff.
No. But your defense.
Well,
when
defense.
When everybody's
Adam,
healthy?
Jay,
Adam,
Kevin,
Jay,
Kenny,
Kevin, Kenny, and then
Just is it plug and play there?
It was
Trey for a
Ant
while.
and Trey for,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, Ant, dude, he's really good too. And you throw Trey in the mix, it's like that's the best defense right there. And Leapers does a great job. I don't think they're as talented top to bottom as you guys. I think they have the best safety on the field, but I think they also do a good job of giving different looks.
Lately, they have more consistency than us. Where their guys are showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we got a different group every week lately.
They've had problems the past few seasons with and times they've had to find a different quarterback.
They rolled leaper deep this session and went with a ballsy 7 guys.
Yeah.
I think.
Dave was
furious.
But he's like, I got to do what I got to do.
But
that was my freaking watch. But no, I mean credit to that quarterback through lights out. Very accurate.
Oh yeah,
Garrett.
Garrett threw a great. Threw a great game. Cutler felt like Cutler was uncoverable at times. We'd be right there, and he's still making the catch.
Yeah, very, very difficult game to stop Cutler or even contain him this game.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he was
just contested catches. Cutler's up there, my top 5. When I want the ball going to him, contested catches, I'll give him a chance all day.
Oh, for sure.
He's got a good vertical. He's got good hands.
He does it against top talent too.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's not a guy to go to a tournament and shy away from being who he is.
Right.
No doubt.
Colin had a good game. Dave played great. Joe played good.
I like Joe. I really
Make-A-Wish made some plays when he needed to.
I do think Joe's is actually as well. I think he's the second best linebacker. I would credit him just behind Kenny. I forgot about him when I was talking about linebacker. I think he's really good.
And that game started off the opposite of us. I think both teams went down.
We just it didn't stop. Dave just chimed in. He said he's still pissed about how much depth they did have. So just to expect them to make some cuts in the offseason.
Yeah, no, they're not making any cuts.
If they do, who's getting cut?
They're not making any cuts.
If they do, who's getting cut? I'm going
Scarelli bounces on and off the team. I don't know if it's by design or by him just wanting to not play as much. But
it's more being hurt, I think.
I think I have never seen anyone more mad at Cap when he
them having him changes their defense though, because Make-A-Wish doesn't have to play as much defense.
Yeah,
all right.
Which makes them just overall more athletic on that side of the ball.
No, I do think that if they had to make a cut, it would be Scarelli because when we played them last session in the playoffs, Scarelli he had a rough game to say the least. It wasn't him, and Dave was fucking pissed at him. I felt bad. Dave, I'm telling you. His loyalty to Leapers runs so deep. He does not. If there was no mud, he would be full-time Leaper. But if anyone's
allegedly,
Nick Cutler is now watching.
Well, what? I mean, nobody takes that away from him.
No,
Dave is one of the most loyal players around, and I respect that with him.
It was Dave. Me and Cam play with your ass too, and he should have seen this kid how pissed he was when we fucking won. Oh my God, I've never seen him more mad in my life. He punched the ball.
Because he
freaking
honestly,
out at the refs, freaking out at Cam.
He honestly,
he's like,
at the time,
you're lucky.
he probably thought Leapers had a better chance to beat us.
No, he did.
Dave was on a mission this season to beat us, or last season.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
We will move on, but congrats to Leapers back on top. Their first real A championship, and it's been a while, and it just hasn't been the same without them there. Congrats to them. Do you throw up their photo? We got to give them the credit.
Oh, and wait till they get. What are they going to do when Ciampa comes back too? Now
he's not
probably be a worse team,
right?
No, y'all tripping.
You got it up there.
Wow, an offensive.
You think Dave would actually make a cut if somebody was coming back?
No. I was just joking. I was just messing around. If they had to cut someone, I wonder who it would be.
Who knows?
Who are the Gumby's going to cut when he comes back?
I don't know. Man. Booth has been missing. Oh, and then Booth, he was pissed at you guys for no reason last game. I actually felt bad from the sideline. I'm
he
like,
can get over it.
He's already. It's never like with Booth. There's a couple things.
No. But he showed up and he was mad. I don't know why. Like, he wasn't like, I usually talk to Booth before the game, like, yo, what up, Booth?
Guy's got stuff going on at home. You don't even know what kind of mood somebody's in. Booth and I got into it. There's no secret, but after the game, it was all.
Definitely.
The one thing about Booth is, he's annoying as fuck on the field, but that in a way that's a compliment. Because he's always competing to the best of his ability. Like, he's flying around, he's doing shit. He's a fucking pest.
Yeah.
But he's playing his game, and I'll never knock anybody for playing their game.
Do you intentionally try to draw roughing the passer?
No.
Okay, well, that's what he was yelling about, and it was funny because he's like...
I was trying to get out of his way.
It was funny because
No,
he's like, he's yelling, and he's like describing what happened. He's like, he
Yeah, I
threw
know.
it and he hit me. I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
you
he
just
threw it,
described
and
what
then I
happened.
hit him.
Well, it's just like the NBA. Like if a shooter shoots, you got to let him land.
Yeah.
Steve's got to be able to follow through.
Well, no, he was saying you were doing that. You intentionally just tried to draw the roughing the passer.
No.
Which, in my opinion,
What did he get?
It
One?
doesn't make any sense.
He got one that game, right?
I don't know.
And I didn't ask for. I didn't say anything about anything prior to or even after about his rushing.
Poor Trey. You guys had Trey in shambles on the sideline, screaming at him the whole game.
Who?
Who spoke to Trey? I didn't speak to Trey.
Well, dude, I heard your sideline was yelling at him. Trey,
For the bad
you're
non-
missing
for the bad
this,
non-call?
You're missing that. The only call.
All I
that
screamed was
okay.
bums because I was yelling at Dave because he was cooked and he just grabbed the shit out
The
of me.
only call that you guys really had the right to complain about was that one, right there. Jeff comes over to Trey. He's like, "Hey, dude, can you mind watching?" It's like, Jeff, he hip checked you in the middle of the field. That's not a penalty.
Okay, so
Jay does
so
that shit
Jeff
every
came
play.
over in a nice manner and asked him, "How's that giving him shit from the sideline?"
Oh,
Had him in
no.
shambles.
No, dude, you should have seen him, bro. He was complaining about you guys complaining. He's like, they were bitching. They were saying Cam was out of bounds. He was in bounds. I saw his foot in bounds. And then you guys are complaining about an incompletion
I
over the
actually
middle of the field.
don't know what play we're talking about. That's how I know we weren't complaining about
It was across the back of the end zone.
I didn't even know what play we're talking about.
Well, I mean, I'm just Trey. He's like they were complaining. It's what he said to me. He said they were complaining that his foot wasn't in bounds on one of our 2 touchdowns. I mean, I'm not like this isn't some random play here.
I mean, I didn't complain to him.
Someone
So,
did.
Yeah,
so,
so I
so
don't-
you're going on record saying Nasty Boys were pestering the refs? Is that what you're saying?
I made one complaint and it was on
I
the
thought
one
the
that I think
reffing was
everybody
good.
in the building agrees was a penalty.
I thought that.
No, that was the only penalty. But Jeff, a couple times, was asking the ref. He's never going to get that call. Not in the A division, especially when Natty Dees comes back.
I'd
These
have
guys play
to see it
physical.
because Jeff didn't say a word to me about
Yeah.
it.
Because Jay, he came over. No, he was respectful. It was not him, but he
Shambles.
Dana gave him a hip check when he was running a route across the middle, which is not a penalty.
Oh, stop it! Yes, it is.
Jay does the
Stop
same
it!
thing.
Yes, it is.
Cam
no.
runs a post,
no, Jeff.
post and fly.
All right,
Jay
now
gives
I
him
know.
the hip
Now
out
I
of
know.
bounds.
Now what do you know? What he's talking
You
about?
are never
Absolutely
going to
not.
get that call.
Dana is 7 yards downfield trying to get in the route's way to slow him down.
If he put his hands on him,
he's putting his leg in front of him. He's body checking him. He's putting it. Stop it.
No,
Stop
Jay
it. It's 100% a penalty.
Did the
Stop
same
it.
thing.
I'm not.
in the
Okay,
second
but
half.
I'm
No,
not
but what I'm
arguing
saying
it's
is,
not a penalty.
I'm not even
I will
thinking about
say,
complaining about that.
I will say after the hold on me, Jay made it a point to try to make them call penalties.
Holy shit! Yeah, Jay was straight up tackling people.
You
Oh my
guys
God.
set the tone.
That's right.
Right.
You guys sent it, and Jay said, "Okay, we're gonna play."
I'm playing to have fun here. I'm not playing. I throw one out to Cam. I overthrow him. Jay's like fucking got him by the fucking waist, tackles him out of bounds. Why?
Watch your language.
Trey's the type of person to where like he's not calling it unless it's like blatantly, clearly obvious.
So if he wasn't calling those, no, he wasn't calling anything. He didn't throw
No,
a
he's
flag once.
literally
and there was
nothing.
enough
Nothing.
obvious stuff to call.
Your penalty should have been called. That's a penalty.
Yeah, oh, 100%.
Cam did the
No, that
same
was-
thing to you last session.
Yeah,
It
they
got
called. They called. I caught it
that got
still,
called.
but
You
Dave
did catch
held it longer.
Yeah.
Dave's a pro at holding. He's
He
nobody
is a
better.
big holder.
Nobody
He is a
better.
big holder.
No, according to Gumby's defense, that was great defense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Great defense.
I didn't say that. So, but Jay did he does the same thing. He hip checks Cam, slows him up just a little bit, and it's an over. You're never going to get that call in the A's. I would never look for that. I would never.
You might get it, but you're not counting on it, and like
Oh,
nobody.
no,
I don't know. I don't think anybody really. Most guys that play in the A's aren't going to ask for it either.
Yeah.
Unless it's on like an end zone play where it's like a 5 yard. You got 5 yards to go. A lot of open fields, you're never going to get it.
The
But if it's
problem
close,
the
then-
problem with the Dana shit was Jeff is just so much faster. It was so obvious what Dana was doing, and should 100%
Sure.
been
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
This isn't like.
I just
And
think
who
if
do
you
you think?
call
Who do you
that-
think affects more? No, he didn't call it either way. So I'm cool
No.
with
But
it.
what I'm saying is, if you do call it, there's a lot more flags in that game, and I don't know if.
Do you think it changes the outcome?
No, but that's
Right.
why I'm fine with the way it's played. But I mean, Jesus, Natty D's would be getting a penalty every other fucking play. If
Well,
that
they
was
hold
if
every
that's a
other fucking
penalty.
play.
Here we go.
If we're talking like
It's all back to
getting
Natty
in the
D's.
way of the
Lobby,
route.
yeah, I see. I should have
Get
known.
off your high
It's coming,
fucking horse.
Coming full circle. All right, we're gonna move on from Tyler Pike slurping Natty D's and trying to lobby for them.
I literally said that they would be getting a penalty every play.
Yeah.
And I did say no good things about them.
You just assume the refs go after them.
As I said,
You said the refs target Natty D's. That's
No,
just
I'm saying
what you
they
said.
would if you could been calling those types of penalties.
I will say it'll be interesting to watch Trey ref the Natty D's because he hates them so much.
Oh, they're
getting-
Don't start something that's not
I'm
even
just
there.
kidding. I'm
they're
just
in the
kidding.
4th place. They are the 4th best team as far as I'm concerned at the moment.
Dude, that defense is elite. No matter where they are.
They don't have Austin, one of the Wenzels. That's a major loss.
All
That's
right.
a huge. Anyway, continue.
We'll get into that.
Sure.
You are all over the place. You have ADD.
No,
Are you sure?
As far as I'm concerned, I don't.
As far as you're concerned.
Correct.
Oh, okay. All right, we're gonna dabble Mondays real quick. Obviously, we're not gonna talk too much. What?
We got that last call.
I don't know that. I forgot to pick it, so don't give me anything. Because I didn't. I don't think anybody picked it.
Either way, he wins. Derek's gonna win. So Derek wins this season. Congrats. You want to give him a round of applause?
Thank you.
Oh, jeez.
I'm the least celebrated guy in the world. That's all.
No, you do enough celebrating for yourself. I don't want to hear it.
Stop it.
Here we go.
Fucking idiot.
All right, on to Mondays. Couple things stand out here. We'll talk about Aviation Nation. Young Ones, big game right off the rip. Young Ones making a statement. Not happy about losing championship game last season. Smacked Aviation Nation. Young Ones prime for another A division run. Shotgunners are in Mondays. Surprisingly opened up against Short Kings, which I don't feel is a fair matchup right off the rip. But Shotgunners potential A team probably should be A's on Mondays in my opinion. Steamboat's going to make a case. Looking good in their new red and white jerseys. Mambas over Pickle Dicks. Now, Pickle Dicks on Mondays is more of a B1, B2 team, somewhere in the middle. Not one of the top B1 teams typically. Mambas making a big statement with a big win there. So, Mambas, I believe...
The Mambas have the tallest roster in Bedford
Oh, for
history.
sure. For sure.
They found the only guy around
Taller than Trey.
around taller than Trey, and we're like, yeah, you're on the team now. They send that dude in on every extra point and just throw it in the air.
Yeah, it was a lot of jump balls on extra
He's
points.
6'8".
Yeah, he's a monster. Very underutilized on that team.
Yeah,
to be honest.
he was over there a lot. I want to shout out Danny Cruz and Pat having my back in the comments.
Why?
I said Danny said good-ish. That's my dog. Pat said he's proud of me. So I'm good now. I'm good. My victory
Pat's
celebrated.
a self-celebrator too. Of course, he's proud of
Pat's
you.
my dog.
Pat on the contractor page trying to start fights
Yeah.
this morning. 7 o'clock in the morning, just ripping on
Pat's
people.
shitting on contractors.
Throw that bum out. Yeah, Manch Vegas making a statement. Elliot looking prime. I mean,
That's a game. Those teams don't like each other. You can tell watching it. They don't like each other.
yeah. I wonder if there was some prior.
There has to have been some matchups before because it was pretty heated.
It seemed personal.
Elliot does not like anybody on that team, and it didn't appear that it was one sided. They don't like him either.
Yeah. No rage. I know they were on week 1. Nasty Boys took their spot. And Too Nasty is going to be dangerous. It could. And Whack Pack, too, after winning. What did they win last season? B2 from Mondays? B1?
So Rage they're in. They
dropped.
Nasty Boys took their spot.
So they're done. They're not playing at all.
No.
Okay.
Our Nasty Boys roster's pretty nice on Mondays.
So that's going to be a walk away. A championship for you guys.
How do you say that with 6 good teams here?
Who are you going to play in the championship? Young ones again?
It could be.
You just waxed them.
We're not going to wax them again. I promise you that.
Well,
they're going to come ready for this one. They
didn't have. I mean, half the team was late. They didn't have Ant at all in the last game. Who's, in my opinion, their best two-way player.
You guys
They got Jonathan back. That's my guy.
Yeah, he looked pretty good for a guy who just had wrist surgery or whatever.
Right. So yeah, I mean they're primed. I
I like our chances, but I'm not going to sit here and disrespect him and say we're going to walk away with it.
I think you will.
Obviously, we should be the favorites. Why wouldn't we be?
You
on paper?
obviously are, no doubt. There's not even, you can't even question it.
Right, but does the best team always win?
doubt.
Why should we be the favorites with guys like Kevin, Steve, Deuce, Tangway, myself,
True.
Gomes?
You actually have all those guys? You have Tang and Deuce?
Yeah.
Okay. I knew I was
going to get Tyler with this one.
Like you want to say something disrespectful to young ones?
No, I have nothing against young ones. I just think you guys beat them last session with a team that wasn't as good as this team that you have now. So we'll see.
Does the best team always win? Why do we play then?
Jimmy should just send us sweatshirts every 2 months.
No, I'm saying if the best team always wins, why do we even play any games?
Well, I'm predicting you guys are going to win handedly. Just a prediction.
I don't think it's going to be handily.
No disrespect. It's just a prediction.
But good. It should be interesting Mondays. I think you have six A division teams, and it'll be all competitive.
Yeah, Mondays aren't. I mean, they're still not Wednesdays, but they're not what they were before. It was like if you came in with like a pulse, you could walk away with it.
Yeah, it's that some of the top. The gap is okay because there are some teams at the bottom that are really just tough right now.
Yeah. But at least there's more people. Like you're not going to go in there, and we don't. Like I used to hate going and winning by 70 every week. I
think that tier,
it made it not fun to go.
Right.
I think the A division tier. There's you guys, and then there's maybe like 5 other teams that are pretty close to each other that could, provide some good games. But I don't think anybody is going to compete with you guys to the point where you'll be sweating at any point during any game.
It was pretty hot in there.
Just a prediction.
I
was sweating through my fucking gloves yesterday. It was crazy.
If I take a good shit, I'll sweat for sure. So, all right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna preview Little Wednesdays. We got Natty D's are back. Tough matchup for DirecTD's right off the rip. I'm not seeing really. We got Milkman Black back now. That's not an A team.
B2. I would say maybe.
I don't know. Is Cam on the team?
He's throwing, so yeah, he's on the team, but he ain't going to be helping us. He's going to be hurting us playing.
What are you doing?
Playing corner, so you can see how everything's kind of
C team. I'm calling it now.
No, it's either B2 or C.
You know he's going to be a loser as soon as playoffs come. They're going to switch it up.
No one's going to do
mark
that
my
shit.
words right now.
Do you think every game? Do you think Cam throws every possession of every game?
If he doesn't, it will be someone else. Like.
So you're saying you're not throwing a pass this session for that team?
Not one. That's kind of the
I know because I did that with the Force. I think I played 3 snaps of offense and tried to intentionally not get the ball.
yeah. No, yeah, he's throwing. So we'll fucking see how this goes. It's not going to be good. He's blitzing though too. So at least we'll have one good player on defense. We got Big Jake playing safety. We got me and everybody.
Everybody
it's going to be fun.
that team over the top.
They're going to change this as soon as playoffs come around.
Whatever side Tyler's playing corner on, go deep over there because him and Jake are not making up a deep safety combo.
The second they play Entity in the playoffs and Danny says one thing to him, not even controversial.
Pike, take your hat off.
Yeah.
Pike, take your hat off.
That's it, I'm throwing. Yeah.
Of course we're playing Slipstream in the first week.
You'll be able to keep up with that.
Here comes a 2-yard hitch to Jeff.
You'll be able to keep up with that.
Here comes a 1-yard curl to Cam.
Is he really ripping on Slipstream? You haven't learned yet?
No, he's saying he's going to have a problem.
It's going to be so fun chasing Jeff around all game.
All right, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Might as well just be running around before the play, just guessing where he's going to go.
Yeah, literally. We should. Yeah, I know. Nobody on our defense can run with him. Jake literally says to me today, he's like, you guys better not miss any flags because I'm not getting any flags or one-on-one with anyone from safety. I'm like, how was the plan, buddy?
Well, right on. I mean, it kind of looks the same. Wednesday, normal. Nothing too crazy. I wonder how the mix-up will be now that Natty D's back in. I wonder if Jimmy will do 6 or 8.
Who's dropping out? Who's the team to get bumped back down to the B's?
No, well, I think Flip the Birds does not have their A squad like they did last session. They don't have the squad to get them to the A's. I believe if what I'm told is correct. I know their number 1 receiver is out for a little bit.
Out for a bit, yeah.
And I think it's a new quarterback. So we'll see how that goes. I know from what I heard, they're piecing together a pretty good team, but I think it'll be a solid top B1 team. So if they did 8 again, I'm saying Flip the Birds out, Natty D's are in.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I thought they were the most borderline A team anyway.
Maybe. So, all right. So we're going to why don't we give a couple shout out here? We have a couple birthday shout outs. It was a big birthday week for Nasty Nation. Who you got up there first? You got Big Kevin there. Kevin McDonald turned the big dirty 30. Big party for him. Shout out to the Kevin Tacky Bar. And he gets older, but he's getting better as he's getting older, which is impressive. You got anything to comment about your guy?
Kevin?
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin's a dog, man. Mr. Tacky Bar CEO. I don't know if you guys saw the pants he was wearing, but it does look like he borrowed them from me. I just asked that next time he goes through my closet, he just tells me it's taking some pants. But no, it looked like a hell of a time. They got after it. Shout out to Tim falling asleep in VIP on the couch. That was a pretty good time.
Yeah, did you see? I feel like he was at the same bar you were at a while ago, but they had the sign going around.
Yeah, they do that at the clubs a lot. You get the sign going. I did see the tackybar.com sign. I thought it was awesome. It usually comes when you order some sort of bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
That's how they get you by. You just ordered this bottle of champagne that's normally $100. It's $3,000 here. Here's a sign.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. This is a personal favorite of mine.
Tell me it's Jay.
Well, buddy, come on. I've been watching this kid grow.
Which picture did you go with?
Buddy, his tackle football photo.
Oh. I was hoping it was the one with him in the sweater like this.
I mean, one of the most unique, good, genuine kids I've ever met in my life. A backbone of Nasty Boys defense. And one of the most loyal.
One of my favorite people to just be around.
Oh, for sure. Try working with him, though.
I could see that might be the one place I wouldn't want to be.
He's fun there. No matter how bad I yell at him, I can't stay yelling at him. Like, it always makes me smile. No, he's working hard at work. He's learning, and I coached the kid at a young age. Grew up one of Adam's best friends. Very, very good Adam. We'll rat Adam out in a second, though. If I need to know where Adam is we have a famous story where Adam snuck out the house one time when he didn't need to. All he had to say to me, because I told him, if you want to go out, just let me know. Okay? I mean, why sneak out when your dad tells you? If you want,
it's right. The rush.
So he snuck out, and I woke up, and he's gone. Gone. I'm like, what the fuck? Not answering his phone. And I messaged Jay, and Jay goes, oh, he's at so-and-so's house or whatever. So Jay will tell me right away what Adam's doing.
He just wanted the rush. He didn't like the fact that you were okay with him going out.
I know, his life sucks. Oh, my dad lets me go out. I can never sneak out. It's the worst.
Jay always has the most random numbers, like 51 in this photo. He's 73 on our team.
Well, the funny thing is, he asked me for 6 numbers for Nasty Boys, and everyone was taken. So he goes, "That's it." And then I almost thought it was 74, but it was something stupid. But happy birthday, Jay! He's the man. I told you yesterday he booked an Airbnb with his buddies.
Yeah, they're up there all week.
But he booked it in Milton, New Hampshire, and he thought it was close to Tilton just because it said me. Finds out it's completely in the opposite direction. But hopefully he's behaving and having fun. So 21 for that big guy. Future's bright for that kid. And you really think you're funny, huh? All right, let's get to. You want to show the photo first or the video first for this handsome young gun?
There's a video?
Dude, what are you doing here? You're
I love it. Keep it up, Ben.
All right, well, that's the photo. Why don't we throw it up? It's Josh's. I just sent you remember I sent you before we started the cropped version of the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want that first? Or you want the picture?
Just throw up the photo right now while you dabble in there.
The video's ready to go.
Is it? Yeah. You couldn't find it.
No, I was looking for the picture. Which one do you want first?
Just throw up the photo right now. Josh Kenny, happy birthday. I think today's his actual birthday. Another genuine good kid. Big Nasty Nation guy. I love playing with him. Offense, we were really clicking when we play together. I keep trying to find space to move him, but when you got like Tang and Deuce and
guys with nicknames,
you got no room for a guy just Josh. But yeah, no, I love playing with the kid. He was detrimental in the kicking your ass last fucking A division finals.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
The Monday,
When?
the
Monday.
game, the Josh game,
Oh, okay.
where Josh scored like 8 touchdowns.
That's how you know
Full field.
Which team was that? Was that Milkmen?
They were all his first 8 full field touchdowns.
Maybe it was Milkman.
Well,
I'm not sure.
not
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
When he's scoring 3 touchdowns on you, full field, 5-yard ins, there's problems with the defense, not him.
Did you got the video queued up?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm surprised you posted a picture with Gavin in it.
I couldn't. Josh has like 3 photos. No, Gavin's been cool lately. Yeah, let's go. We got a video of Josh on the day before his birthday, kicking ass like always. Look at him read this. Oh. Just a face of defeat. I mean, like,
I admired that he just went down. He's like, he got me.
Yeah, just play it for a little bit. Let people. It's up in the air. It's tough to see. Don't pause it. Just. It's tough to see. If you actually watch the video with clarity, you can see his face, and before he hits the ground, he knows he's done. Almost a little bit of a flag guard there, huh? I didn't notice that.
Here we go.
Oh, that was funny. Shout out Josh, and all right. Hopefully, we have a great season coming up. I got an announcement. What are we doing on 10/15?
10/15. What day of the week is that?
That is a Sunday.
Sounds like we're gonna have maybe a tournament coming up.
We got the next Best of Bedford tournament.
Yes. I've been waiting for this, man. Finally. Thank you.
So I think we decided, you and I, a while ago, that we're just gonna let any team play with anybody, come in and go.
Yeah.
We're not gonna have any rules. And we're just gonna
play ball.
We're just gonna play ball, have some fun. Depending on the limit of teams we have, will be an A and B division, depending on. So if you're one of those teams that, you you just right now can't compete at that top level with potentially any A division teams coming in, we will have a B division if we have enough teams for sure. It is a little short notice, unfortunately. Very very tight scheduling over in Bedford, but I got that's the date right now. I'm gonna come up with a flyer, launch it, and let's get your teams in, have some fun. But again, no rules, no roster rules, nothing. Just a good old fashioned tournament.
What time's it gonna start?
It's gonna have to start late after the draft.
I was just because that's.
Yeah. So we will be accommodating to anybody who wants to play in the draft league. So it will start probably 3-4 o'clock area. Maybe.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, me too. We'll go into the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be a great time. So, all right, you guys have anything before I wind down the show? Any good comments that nobody's been monitoring?
Danny says entities in, and then asked what time Sunday. So we've already addressed that. We're going to be doing it after the draft league. Web Warriors for life, or at least for this session, because it's new every session. No, there's not really much. People just making fun of Pike a little bit.
Classic.
Pat just said Pike toughen up.
Whatever that means. In the context, we do not know.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
It's probably all comments. All right, next week, y'all have the week off. You two boners. You can come if you want. But
wow. The offer has been extended.
This guy, we have the Tambo feud. What are you gonna do? You gonna stand in the corner?
True. Well, no.
Tyler's going to play Vanna White. He's going to reveal the prizes.
There is no prizes.
Tyler's not going to do that.
I'll probably end up opting out.
Adam would like us to start the show again because he just woke up.
I mean, don't.
What you said has been noted, and it will not be forgotten. I respect the invite, extending it to me, but I will be not here next week.
Okay. Don't feel like you don't have to come. I just don't want to waste your time.
Yeah. Well, who are the teams?
We got Team Red Death versus Team the North.
Woo.
Wow.
All right. Should be a good one.
Yes.
Tuned in.
So we're gonna did my questions. This is the last semifinal game. I do have a backup team just in case something happens. One of the teams can't show up. Shows must go on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just Ben and I talking for an hour, and that would be awful. But yeah, we're not going to have any extra mics. So if you have a mic at home, we can run a cord. And
Yeah.
what do you want me to do?
No, I'm fine with it.
You're such a dick.
You were the one that's like, all right, Pike, you can come, but only if Derek can't go. Derek's like, I can't go. I'm like, all right, I'll be there. You're like,
That was
no
funny.
response
I
for
did
like
love that.
3
No,
days.
I get it.
And
But then I realized I didn't have enough mics for you.
no, it's all good. It's just that's why it was funny. That was the funny
I
part.
do want to shout out. Adam, just because I can.
Yeah. Let me paint you a scenario. Let's say you do come that day. All right, hold on, show.
Wait.
Yeah.
He's got an email or something
Pike's
to
got
get
something
to.
more important.
No, I don't.
We know.
Yeah.
A lot more important than Marvel.
But I'm still doing the show while I'm doing Marvel, Ben. Why don't you do your job?
Should have seen him during the stages where he had to cook meth on his phones every couple 30 minutes or something like that. It was out of hand.
I forgot about that. So let me paint you a picture. Let's say I have you come to that show, and I don't have a mic for you.
No.
Then the narrative is Steve's just wasting my time.
No, then the narrative is going to be Pike's getting relentlessly beat on by somebody like Danny Cruz online, and he can't even say anything to defend himself.
Yeah, he's going to freak out in my kitchen.
Danny's just sitting there, take your hat off, and Tyler can't say anything back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week for Tambo Feud. And let's have a great season, all right?
Shout out tackybar.com.
Love you guys.
CEO Kev.
Good night, Grease.
Bedford Games. Yup. Bedford Games. Let's fucking go. Bedford Games. Let's put on a show. Bedford Games, you already know. Bedford Games, we're going 6-0.